Yeah, you know, that was on the road. It was a neutral site, but it was a tough place to play, and I was really proud of our guys the way they responded from the tip off all the way through. I thought we played pretty well for the full 40 minutes. You know, from a coaching staff perspective, to see our guys play really aggressive on both ends, and I think we started off on defense. We got some early steals and got some transition baskets, and that kind of kick-started our offense to push it a little bit harder, which we really been trying to do all year. So that was a bright spot, that we were throwing the ball ahead and sharing the ball, and you know, I thought it was a great team performance, and also we had some great individual effort. You know, KJ Allen, I think he had 15 points, and Lamar was just incredible on defense, one of his best defensive games of the year, and made some really nice passes. And then you had Elijah and Curry both had 8 points. So and then DeMarion had you know, shot the ball really well and ended up in double figures. So that's all promising. Encouraged to see these guys off the bench play so well. And then I thought our starters were really consistent. And I mean, you know, KO's put 2 good games back to back, and you get still with not having Bacho, it's nice to see guys fill in and play so well.
You got an update on Bacho's playing status?
Well, it's he's getting close. I think there's a chance he might play Wednesday. We're keeping our fingers crossed, but he's been doing a lot of rehab, and that ankle sprain was a little worse than what we thought. But he's been out shooting. Hadn't worked out with us yet, but hopefully tomorrow we'll get him out on the practice floor and get him ready for Wednesday.
How much practice do you think? How much practice would you feel comfortable with him having before he was ready to play?
Well, you know, Bacho's got a high basketball IQ, and he's a guy that processes scouting reports, you know, quicker than a lot of guys, and so I think he can make that adjustment easier than most players. And with his size and athleticism, he can adapt. So we need him back on the floor, and he's such a presence on both ends, but especially on defense. So we need him, and we need him back into the floor of things. So it'll be good to have him, you know, back before Christmas. Then we can build on that and show him some film, get him ready for TCU and our last non-conference game.
Last week was kind of a crazy week with behind-the-scenes stories about Fardaws entering the portal, not entering the portal, and being on the bus. Can you set the record straight on what happened last week?
Oh, you know, don't want to get into the details. I think just a lot of rumors and speculations that just weren't accurate. And Fardaws is here, and he's happy and excited to be a Red Raider, and we're looking forward to him being back on the floor and being a contributor, which he can help us on both ends. You know, he had a great summer, and the way he rebounds the ball and shoots it from three-point range. So he's going to give us a lot more versatility once he gets back.
You guys were hoping that would be around the first of the year. Is that the timeline?
Yeah, you know, way back when we talked about this a few months ago, we were hoping he'd get that cast off 1st of December, and we decided to keep it on for a couple more weeks, and just precautionary measures. So just trying to be extra careful with that. So that kind of set the timeline back. But we're hoping, and Doss is too, that we can get him back, you know, a couple of weeks in January or maybe before.
Yeah, Houston Christian next up on the schedule. What do you expect to see from that?
Yeah, the Houston Christian, we've known them as Houston Baptist forever. They changed their name, but they've got a really good coach that's been there for a long time. We have a lot of respect for him. This is a team that shoots three points very consistently. They shoot 37% three-point line. So anybody can shoot outside shots like that, we respect and have to get ready to guard the three-point line. And then they're a very good offensive rebounding team. So those are the two emphasis going in on our scouting report, and hopefully we can block out and rebound and put a hand up on those three-point shots.
What would you like to see improved in your team heading into conference play?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're still learning, and coaches, we're doing a lot of teaching with these young guys, and we saw a huge improvement in our last game, and so that's what we're trying to do, just get better each game. And yeah, conference is just a few weeks away, so we're talking about that, and still taking one game at a time, of course. But you know, like our defense to continue to get more consistent. I think, you know, we're top 30 in the country right now, which is unusual for us. We're usually lower than that. So I think the emphasis is still on defense at this point.
Coach, a couple tight games there at home so far in the season. How big was it to be able to go on the road no matter who you play and get away with a 50-point win to come back home?
Yeah, it was nice to coach those games when you can kind of, just take a side and sit back and watch and encourage and enjoy it. The guys had a lot of fun. But those other games we had against Eastern Washington and Nichols were great games because I think it made us tougher and stronger and learn how to play close games. And we finished, both those games the last 4 minutes like you'd want us to in a Big 12 matchup.
Coach, in terms of the offense, is that what you were kind of looking for with Steve Green coming in that 50-point victory, or was it like you said, you guys were just able to turn the over a lot and that really kind of led to your?
Yeah, I think a little of both, but we've been talking, since last summer. Let's push the ball, let's pass the ball ahead, and let's get down the floor and attack. And I thought our guys did that, and I want to give Lamar a lot of credit too because he was able to. He and Pablo got the ball out, and of course Davion's got such great speed that he was able to get out in front of those guys. So hopefully we can learn from that and get our guys out pushing the ball a little bit more and attacking that first 6 or 7 seconds down the floor.
Minus all the extracurriculars of last week, did you kind of feel like the team did pretty well in terms of kind of ignoring that noise and just kind of focusing in, and how rewarding was that as you as a coach just kind of watching the team?
Yeah, I was so proud of them to not be distracted by it, and everybody was focused, and that was indicative of the way everybody played. I mean, everybody played well. We had great individual efforts, and we played good as a team and shared the ball, and so I think that's a great sign of maturity. These guys didn't listen to outside noises and played well.
More than anything, how important was it for their confidence, just like a guy like Demarian or even Kerwin, just kind of see the ball in the basket?
Well, again, these guys had a lot of fun, but when they got in rhythm, they made easy passes and just passed the open guy and let the game come to them. And I think that's something that we've been struggling with is sometimes our guys are trying a little too hard and forcing some things. That's where those turnovers come in when you start rushing. But the way that they moved the ball and played as aggressive as they did, I think that gives us some momentum going into this next game and hopefully into the conference.